Unless you take control of your finances, you are never going to feel at peace. You can meditate until the cows come home, but there's always going to be that feeling in the background that you are trapped. You know why? Because you are trapped. I've been there. I felt ashamed, I felt hopeless, and I was trapped. But 5 years ago, I decided to dig myself out of that hole, and I paid back $43,000 of that in 15 months alone as a single mom. So if I had to do it again, I could. And I'd like to tell you how exactly I would. So step number one is you gotta know your why. You need that clarity. You need that motivation to pull you forward, because the journey is not going to be easy. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. So very important to understand why you wanna get out of that. For me, it was a promise that I made to my daughter a long time ago. I told her that I would pay half of her college tuition and all related expenses. And I just couldn't bear the thought of looking into her eyes and say that, hey, sorry, I spent it on shoes and clothes and dance lessons and singing lessons just because I wanted to feel good about myself as a single mom. I had this thought that if I'm not happy, you are not happy, right? Everything starts with me. But I took it too far. So that was my motivation, and I'm happy to say that I kept my promise. So what is your motivation? Why do you want to get out of that? Take a sheet of paper, write it down, keep it in front of you always, so you can use it as a motivating factor. All the steps that I'm going to cover today, I created a PDF, your debt-free action tracker, so you can download it. There's a link in the description, so you don't need to take notes as you are watching this video. Step 2 is listing all of your debts. This is the hardest part, to face the music, because we know the situation is bad, but we don't know how bad it is. So if you don't know the exact amount that you owe, you can go to annualcreditreport.com. This is your free resource, and most of your debts should be listed there in one place. This is the official website. I'm going to put the link in the description so you can have it. Keep in mind that medical debt is not going to be on this list, so you have to get that information from another source. Chances are that there is a plastic bag or a drawer where you're just shoving all this unopened letter mail that you're getting. Look there, start there. Emails, statements from different sources. I'm going to show you the list that I put together back in 2019, July 15. That was my turning point. And looking at this list, I understand it's scary, but it's also, it's going to give you comfort, because at least now you know what you're dealing with, right? All cards are on the table. You cannot escape anymore. This is the situation. And it's a starting point of a brand new journey. And every step of the way, you are going to feel more in control and more empowered. I promise you that. The next step is going through your credit and debit card statements to see if there are any subscriptions that you can get rid of. And you are going to feel good about this, because you will know that you are not going to be hit with these charges next month. This is your first pass. That's something that you would need to do periodically to see what else you can cut out of your budget, right? So that's just the first exercise. The next step is setting up your starter emergency fund. This is a safety cushion in case something goes wrong. Chances are that you are going to need to tap into it at some point. I would aim for $1,500 to $3,000 if you are in the USA. It's whatever helps you breathe easier, knowing that there is some money set aside in a separate fund. Whatever reduces panic in your mind, in your heart. I cannot give you an exact amount. I know I did $1,000. I was following Dave Ramsey's baby steps, so that was my amount. But I think that nowadays we need to increase the amount. I don't think $1,000 would cut it anymore. So whatever feels right to you. You can keep this in a money market account or high yield savings account. It doesn't matter. This is just, it's gonna give you a sense of safety. You might already have some money in your savings account, so that would count towards this emergency cushion. You could pick up an extra shift at work, maybe. You could do side gigs, you could deliver food. That's what I would do. And I would also sell everything that you don't need in a house. Facebook Marketplace, Poshmark, Nextdoor, eBay. Dave Ramsey has a saying, sell so much stuff so the kids think they are next. The goal is to save up this money as soon as possible so that you can keep the momentum going. The next step is deciding which debt repayment strategy you are going to use. The first option is the snowball method. You are going to list your debts from smallest amount to largest amount, regardless of the interest rate. That's the method I used. Second option is avalanche method. You are going to list your debt from the highest interest rate to the smallest one. The reason I chose the snowball method is because I wanted to have quick wins. I wanted to gain momentum right away. I know that mathematically this is not ideal because at the end I end up paying more, but I also know that being in debt is not a mathematical problem, it's a behavioral problem. So my objective was just to get momentum right away and have quick wins. If you feel that you are more disciplined, you are more mathematical, you can try the avalanche method, whatever you feel would work for you best. I was very happy with the snowball method. It worked out very well for me. Next step is the fun part, setting up your budget. I know that this can be so scary because you may feel that it's going to restrict you, but I find that it gives you freedom actually, because you give a job to every single dollar. So the best way to do this is to create a $0 budget. So you list all your expenses for the month and then you assign a job for them, what you are going to cover with every single dollar, and you only spend the money that's in your budget. If you want to buy something but you don't have money for it this month, guess what? You're gonna have to wait until next month, or maybe by that time you change your mind and you don't need it. So that's the beauty of it. There are many different ways to go about it. You can use, I recommend Dave Ramsey's Every Dollar app, which is free. There are paid options as well that link your bank account to your budget. But for me, it was very confusing. I tried a couple, like a trial version, but I didn't like them. I like to keep things simple. I have mine on an Excel sheet, or you can use just old-fashioned method, like a sheet of paper. You can use a Word document, whatever works for you. There is a saying, budgeting is telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. When you set up your budget, at the same time, stop all contributions to your retirement fund. Don't even contribute up to matching, company matching. That's what I would do, and that's what I did. And I know that you are going to say, maybe, that you are losing money because you are leaving money on the table, right? If you don't contribute up until the match. But I think that you can catch up. You can invest aggressively once you pay off your debt. You need to be laser focused. You have to be gazelle intense. You need to stop putting money away for kids college fund as well, and put all your energy, all your focus into paying off your debt. So let's say, for example, that you find $300 in your budget to start paying towards your debt. And let's say you have a medical bill for $200. You are going to apply the first $300 to the $200 medical bill. So you clear it off, you pay it off, and then you're going to start attacking the next one. So that's how it works, snowball. So once you set up your budget, you are going to be able to estimate how long it's going to take you approximately to pay off all your debt. And the good thing about this is that it can give you hope. You can find hope in the numbers, Once you see it, you can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Think of it as a shovel and a hole. Income is your shovel and the hole is your debt. So obviously, if you have a higher income, your shovel is bigger, so it's easier to dig yourself out of the hole. The quickest way to get out of debt is to increase our income and lower our expenses. It sounds so simple, isn't it? I know. So if I had to do it all over again, I would again apply for a job that pays more, and I would also get a side gig, food delivery, DoorDash, Instacart, whatever, doesn't matter. Picking up an extra shift, waitressing on the weekends, doesn't matter. I would also keep selling all the crap that I have. I have so many things that I could sell right now and make like a few $1,000s, no question about it. I remember when I did this during my debt-free journey, I sold so many things. My basement was empty by the end. I had 4 things in the basement. I had a bucket, I had my Christmas tree, an inflatable mattress, and my AC. Everything else was gone. I sold clothes, shoes, bags, household appliances. I had people come into my home on the weekends, hoarders. I would put everything out in my living room table, Nextdoor app, Facebook Marketplace, you name it. Really intense. Sold furniture, everything. To this day, we don't have a toaster, and my daughter gives me a hard time about it, but I don't care, you don't really need it. So embrace that philosophy from the Depression era. What is it? Make do without, make it work. What is it? I have it here. Use it up, wait it out, make do without. Steps that you could take. Take a defensive driving course to lower your car insurance. I did that. Don't go anywhere. Just don't travel, don't go anywhere, stay home. Find activities that you can do at home. Pick up hobbies that are free. You can go for a walk, you can go for a hike, it's free. You can go to the library, get some books. That's what I would do. Join communities for free if you are a social person. You can invite people to your home and have a game night or like an at-home book club. There are so many opportunities. Or just stay home, read, learn a language through ChatGPT. The opportunities are endless. Meal preparation, saving money on groceries. That's a big one. You can save so much money on groceries. Oh, and I forgot to say that when you put your budget together, chances are that it's going to take you a few months to get it right, because we tend to underestimate how much money we spend on groceries. So give yourself grace. It doesn't have to be perfect right off the bat. If there's an Aldi or Lidl in your area, definitely go there. It's crazy how much cheaper everything is there. If I had to get out of that again, I would not go to any restaurant until I'm on my debt-free journey. You could do meal planning. You don't need to complicate it. I personally have 2 breakfasts that I rotate. It's eggs and oatmeal. And it's healthy and it's cheap. But if I had to do it again, I would probably go with oatmeal because that's cheaper. You don't have to master cooking. Just learn, a few dishes and rotate. I'm gonna show you, this is one of my staples. I eat it like every 3 days. I just calculated it today. It's $2.50 per serving. Not bad, huh? So yeah, figure it out. There is so much money you could save on groceries. I guarantee you that. Don't go to the hair salon to color your hair. Do it at home. I know box paint is not ideal, but that's what I did, and I survived. If you are a guy, get like a trim set, and if you have someone near you who can help you, friend or family member, ask them to cut your hair, learn how to do it. You could save a lot of money on that as well. Don't buy any new clothes. You have enough. I had a jacket for 25 years. The zipper broke, and I wanted to buy a new one, but I'm like, you know what? No, I can't. I'm on a debt-free journey. So I took it to a repair shop, and they just replaced the zipper. It was fine after that. Same thing with my winter boots. Wanted to buy a new one, but then I just decided to get the heel replaced and fixed, so that was fine as well. Much less expensive than a new one. Some extreme things that I did not use AC for 2 summers. That was brutal, man. I was dedicated. I was determined to get out of that. And another thing I did, these are just like reminders to stay on the path And I find these tactics very helpful. I took up running during my debt-free journey, and I bought 2 pairs of running socks on purpose. And I washed them, you know, every day, every other day. The reason why I didn't buy more is because I wanted to remind myself that I'm on this journey, and I want it to be a little bit hard. So that's why I hand wash them as a reminder that I'm doing this, and this is only temporary. If I had to get out of that again, I would listen to Dave Ramsey's old rants from like 6, 8, 10 years ago. Those were the bomb. Dave Ramsey helped me stay on this path. I don't know if I could have done it without his help. I don't agree with all of his methods and teachings, but he can definitely motivate me. He can probably motivate you also to stay on this path. I'm going to put a link to some of the videos that I really like from him, some of his old rants. So very helpful. And I would also look at my budget every single day, look at my finances, because you're gonna have to, right? Like if you spend money, you are going to have to like log it in your budget. So just stay in it and stay plugged in. Super important. These are the steps that I would take if I had to do it all over again. It is possible to give up your personal history and shed the old layers that don't work for you anymore, and to reinvent yourself. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm here to help. And download that action tracker from the description, just so you can follow along if you'd like to. And speaking of free activities, if you want to see me walking forward and backwards, you can check out this video next. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.